Hi, this is Dale Buchanan, the host of Puppy Talk Podcast. Before we get started today, I wanted to let you know of my new book, The Complete Puppy Training Manual. It's available on Amazon in 4 formats: Kindle ebook, paperback, hardcover, and audiobook. You can find it on Amazon right now. It's called The Complete Puppy Training Manual, and I will put a link in the show notes of this episode. I'm Dale Buchanan, and this is Puppy Talk, the podcast that offers free advice and tips for raising a happy, healthy, and obedient puppy. For more information on this podcast, visit us online at puppytalkpodcast.com. Welcome to Puppy Talk episode number 52. Today I'm going to talk about something that I've never heard or seen any other dog trainer talk about, and that is setting training goals for your puppy. This topic came to me recently after training hundreds of puppies and being in the trenches and seeing how the owners of these puppies have very unrealistic expectations of their puppy's obedience, behavior, and discipline. A lot of new puppy owners will get a puppy and expect them to be perfect right off the bat. And when they're not perfect, they call a dog trainer after 3, 4, 5 months, and they want all of the puppy's bad behaviors fixed. And I really hate using that word fix for a puppy because it's not a car, it's not an appliance. You just can't take a part out and put it back in. You're working with an animal. You're working with an animal that doesn't know English and doesn't really know anything. And it's up to you as the owner, and hopefully myself as a trainer or some other trainer, to teach the puppy what to do and what it's supposed to be doing and what it's not supposed to be doing. The thing you want to really focus on here when I teach you how to set goals for your puppy is to stop thinking of all of the negative things that they're doing and start focusing on what you want. I talked about this in my last episode, number 51. So if you have not listened to that yet, go back and listen to that, because we want to focus on the things that we want the puppy to do. For example, and this is just very general, if the puppy's jumping, we don't want to be touching the puppy and talking to it and pushing it down and saying no and saying stop. All we need to do is ask the puppy or have the puppy lay down, which is the opposite of jumping, and we reward that behavior over and over and over again. When puppies get rewarded for the behaviors that they are doing, then they are going to do that more. And here's an analogy that I use for humans. If you're a father or a mother and you've got a child who keeps leaving a room and not turning off the light, and you get frustrated because they're not turning off the light and it's wasting electricity. And my father was like this. My father always got frustrated when people didn't turn off the lights. But he did not use the method that I'm going to teach you right now, because what I'm going to teach you is positive reinforcement. So instead of saying to your child, turn off the light, why are you leaving the light on, and focusing on what they're doing wrong, all you're going to do is switch that around and say, Bobby, listen, I want you to turn off the lights, and for every time you leave a room, and you can take a little video of that with your phone, turning off the light, I'm going to give you $5. And the kid says, yeah, I'll do it every time, no problem. And he does it. And over a month, he does it 100 times, and he has $500. Now, that's not really the important thing here. He will have some money if he continues to do this, and the agreement is going to be kept for a while. What is important here is not the money. What is important is that you're conditioning this child to leave a room and turn off the light. So when they become an adult, it's automatic. They're going to do it. There's no reward. They don't need a reward. They got rewarded during the conditioning, and then every time they leave a room at work, at somebody else's house, in their own house, visiting their parents, they always turn off the light, because that's the conditioning that was implemented into them in a positive way from an early age. So how do we transfer that into puppy training? I'm going to teach you right now. What we're going to use today are called SMART goals. I've used these in my life, and I know a lot of people who are coaches, life coaches, and so forth, and personal trainers have used this technique in their life as well. SMART is an acronym, and it means specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. How do we transfer this into dog training? Great question. When we set a goal, it has to be specific. I'm over a client's house and I say, "What do you want your dog to do?" And the owner says, "I want my dog to mine." What does that mean? "I want my dog to behave." What does that mean? Be more specific, I ask them. "I want them to stop doing this and stop jumping and stop barking." No, I didn't ask what you don't want the dog to do. I want to know what you want the dog to do. And to be honest, they never thought about it. They only focus on what the dog is doing wrong. So if you don't want your dog jumping, what do you want your dog to do? Lay down on its bed. Okay, so we teach the dog to lay down on its bed automatically, all the time, when you need him to, or you command him to. You say, "Go lay down on your bed. Dixie, go lay down on your bed." And they do, and you reward them for that. Good girl. Little treat. That's a specific goal. I want to teach my dog to lay down on its bed. Great. The M after that is measurable. How do we measure if this is effective or not? Do we have to say the command 10 times before the puppy does it? Does it take the puppy 30 seconds to do it after we say it? Are they resistant to it? Are they checking out? Do they not want to lay down on their bed? Or do they do it automatically? So we start with a measurable goal. When we say the command or we do a hand signal, it takes the puppy 30 seconds to go to the bed and lay down. And we want to have that go into 20 seconds and 10 seconds and then instantly. And that's how you measure that goal. The next one, A, is attainable. Is this an attainable goal for your dog? Is my dog going to actually go lay down on their bed? Of course they can. Now we get to the R, realistic. Is this a realistic goal? Can your dog actually go on their bed, lay down, and stay for any significant amount of time, or are they just too young, or they don't have enough training yet? So you have to make sure that it's a realistic goal. So we've got specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and the last one is timely. When do you want this dog to have this new behavior, new discipline, new obedience? Tomorrow? That's not a good idea. Trust me. Puppies need to learn slowly. Over a month, that's probably more realistic. 2 months, that's a very good timetable. So if we have a puppy that's jumping and we want them to lay down on their bed, then we have to set up these goals that are specific. You lay down on your bed for 2 minutes. Measurable. Can we measure over time that this is actually going in the right direction? They're able to stay for 10 seconds and then 20 seconds and then 30 seconds and working up to 2 minutes. Is it attainable? Can they actually do this? Is it realistic? Is the puppy able to actually do this? Are they capable of doing this with the training that they have already? And timely. When do I want this to be done by? You have to remember that you can't have unrealistic goals and expectations for your puppy. Training a puppy and getting a puppy to be easy to live with and low stress and balanced and centered and able to listen to you and be really compatible with you takes years. Dixie is 2 years old, 4 months this week. And I just noticed recently how easy we are to live with. I say at night, go to bed, we're going to bed. I turn off the lights, she goes with me, jumps in the bed, lays down, time to go to bed. I get up in the morning, say, okay, we're going outside. She goes to the front door, sits and waits for her leash, goes outside. We come inside. All right, we're going to eat now. She lays down on her little section on the rug and waits for me to make the food and bring it over to her. She patiently eats the food, and then she takes a nap, and I say, all right, I'm taking a shower. She runs in her crate, goes in her crate, lays down. I lock the crate because if I don't, she's going to chew up all my cables in my house. She's a real chewer. Take her out of the crate. We go for another short walk on a potty break. And I go back inside and say, well, I got to go. Dixie, I'm leaving. I'm going to work. And she goes right back in her crate, lays down, and she's a good girl. No fuss, no muss, no hassles, because I've conditioned her for that over time. So we've been together for a while, and we're very easy to live with now. She knows the routine. She knows everything that I expect of her, and I know that she's going to do anything that I ask her to do, almost without even asking her. And this is where you want to get. So be patient, take it slow. Don't force the puppy to try to learn anything too fast. They live in an analog world. They don't live in the digital world like we have with our phones, where we get everything instantly. So you have to keep that in mind. Use this SMART acronym to set goals for your puppy, with the most important one of these is realistic goals. I hope this information is helpful. Be sure to visit us online at puppytalkpodcast.com to see all of our episodes, articles, and other information about this podcast. Have a great day. This is Dale Buchanan, host of Puppy Talk Podcast. I have an announcement of a new book that I just published called Potty Training Your Puppy. It's available on Amazon in Kindle and paperback, soon to be available on audiobook. You can find out all the details of this book using the link in the show notes. It's called Potty Training Your Puppy. It's a comprehensive book with a simple and effective way to help potty train your puppy, and it really works. Check out the link in the show notes.